Welcome back, Nashville Predators fans, to another edition of the Preds video recap. My name is Jordan Cimini. The Nashville Predators defeat the Barry Trotz-led New York Islanders by a score of 4-3, which, by the way, Barry Trotz and the New York Islanders, that's going to take some time to get used to. Before we talk about the game that transpired, one of the things I wanted to point out from the morning skates was Kevin Fiala getting bumped from the second line all the way down to the fourth line. I know Pierre Laviolette wanted to talk about how much this was an opportunity for Cal Yarncroke to play his way up into the lineup, but I just don't know how this is not a message being sent to Kevin Fiala. One aspect in particular that me and Ryan previewed for the Preds-Islanders game was who was going to be in net for the Nashville Predators, and we found out that answer with UC Saros being in net for the Predators. UC Saros has faced the New York Islanders 2 times in his career. The first one was a win at Barclays Center, but the second one, I don't think he's going to want to remember that one, that's for sure. Now, diving into this game, I don't know how you can't start this video by talking about that Victor Arvidsson between the legs dangalicious goal through the 5-hole. As we all know, the main consensus of Victor Arvidsson is him being a north-south player and a player that is just like an Energizer Bunny that just won't stop. I think the most underrated aspect of Victor Arvidsson's game definitely has to be his skill set. We've seen that same goal 3 times now, one victim being the Blues, the second victim being the Hurricanes last season, and now the New York Islanders join that list. You just gotta wonder if Barclays Center security staff is still looking for Ryan Pulock's jockstrap up in the rafters. I know forwards in particular, like Victor Arvidsson, like Craig Smith, and Philip Forsberg have definitely gotten a lot of praise lately, but one you can't forget is Colton Sisson. Back in the Rangers game, he won a key face-off that pretty much led to the PK Subban missile goal from the center point that put the Preds up by a score of 2-1. Once again, Colton Sisson wins another face-off, and then pretty much Mattias Ekholm from that face-off when is able to wrist one past Thomas Greiss under the glove and make that score 2-1. That just shows you how important face-offs are in today's NHL. Also, for me and Ryan's preview of the Preds-Islanders game on Thursday night, the player to watch for was Mathew Barzal. You saw in that Preds-Islanders game when Mathew Barzal tried to skate through neutral ice, the Preds had 2 layers of defense right around the Preds blue line, one inside the neutral zone and then one just inside the Preds blue line, so that once Mathew Barzal tried to skate in, pretty much he was going into a brick wall, to which then he would have to skate back and then try to see if he could find a partner to dump off the puck to. Also, I'm not sure how you can talk about this game without bringing up the 2 controversial goals from the New York Islanders. The first goal from Mathew Barzal, I don't have as much a problem with, but I would have loved to have seen an angle in real time that pretty much shows when the whistle was blown. Pretty much once Anthony Beauvillier tried to stick his stick into Saros' pad. But nonetheless, it ends up being a 1-1 score after the goal was given to the New York Islanders. The second goal, it's just such a hard goal to reverse because most of the time you can't tell whether the stick is over the crossbar. In this case, you couldn't quite tell whether the Islanders' stick was over the crossbar. It ends up being a 2-2 game after that goal was scored. Preds didn't show much offensively in the second period until Craig Smith pretty much went down bar down avenue with that third goal of the game. I think we're all in agreement here that Craig Smith most definitely deserved that goal, especially from his performance from the Rangers game when he had so many opportunities to put that puck past Henrik Lundqvist in the first game of the season. One thing in particular that I did not like about tonight's game for the Nashville Predators was their lack of discipline. You could make a case that Kyle Turris' tripping penalty against Casey Cizikas was a good penalty to take since Casey Cizikas was going in on a good scoring opportunity, but you can't expect to win many hockey games when you're taking 5+ penalties in a game. It's just got to stop at some point. For the most part, UC Saros played a pretty solid game for the Nashville Predators. Pretty much when they needed a big save, whether that was from a Johnny Boychuk or Ryan Pulock wind up from the point or down low right in front of the net on a one-time shot from Jordan Eberle. UC Saros definitely stood tall in net for the Predators to get that W. My 3 stars of the game are as followed. The third star of this game from the New York Islanders, I'm going to give it to Mathew Barzal. He added his first goal of the season tonight there on that first controversial goal, and then added a secondary assist on the Anders Lee power play goal, which was quite fluid puck movement, which ended up leading to the stick of Anders Lee so that he could follow through his play. Second star of the game, I'm going to give to Craig Smith. Very deserving goal for Craig Smith tonight as he went bar down, and then also he was relentless all over the ice tonight. Very intrigued to see how Craig Smith looks to add some career highs to this season if he keeps this play up. And the first star of the game, I don't know how you can vote against Victor Arvidsson for that honor. I mean, if that goal's not on the SportsCenter top 10 plays, there should be a thorough investigation to who puts those plays together, because I don't know what that person would be watching. And now we are here for the preview of the Predators and the Flames, the home opener from Bridgestone Arena on Tuesday night. Last season, the Calgary Flames were the only team in the Western Conference that was able to beat the Nashville Predators in both games at Bridgestone Arena. One thing to watch from the Calgary Flames side is how that Flames defense is going to react to the loss of Travis Hamonic, who is out week to week after sustaining a facial fracture from Eric Goodbranson of the Vancouver Canucks. For the time being, Michael Stone is playing up on that second pair with Noah Hanifin, but you just wonder where the chemistry between Noah Hanifin and Michael Stone is at this point of the season. Is that something that the Nashville Predators take advantage of? Who knows, but that could be a deciding factor in this Preds game, especially if that second pair really does not show up. Depending how the Pacific Division standings play out, and of course in the Central as well, this could be a potential playoff series between these Western Conference foes. I wouldn't be shocked that the Nashville Predators are in for another one-goal game against this Western Conference foe, knowing that these two teams, whenever they play, it always seems to come down straight to the wire. And that's it for this episode of the Preds Video Recap. If you want more Preds coverage, go to Penalty Box Radio. You'll find all Preds articles, Preds podcasts, and of course, the Preds Video Recaps on PenaltyBoxRadio.com. I'm Jordan Cimini, and I'll see you next time after Preds and Flames.